Morning, everyone. My name is Kathy Johnson, and I am this year's chair, the committee's chair for this year, and I'd like to welcome you to the October 10th, 2024 Enforcement Advisory Committee meeting. So the CBA has provided the opportunity for the public to participate via WebEx platform. When you take public comments, we'll begin by taking public comments from those individuals attending the meeting here in San Diego. Then I will ask the moderator to open up the lines for public comment. And then you will be allotted, if you have a public comment, you will be allotted up to 5 minutes for that comment. So in order to start off, I will turn the meeting over to Ms. Woofley so that she can establish a quorum.
Kathy Johnson,
Here.
Jennifer Benjamin, here. Ellen Gittleson,
Here.
Jeff DeLyser,
Here.
Laura Ross, here. Bob Rule,
Here.
Jason Russell,
Here.
Ben Town,
Here.
Michael Williams.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, Ms. Whiffley. So the CBA's mission is to protect consumers by ensuring only qualified licensees practice public accountancy in accordance with the established professional standards. This mission is derived from the statutory requirement that protection of the public shall be the highest priority for the California Board of Accountancy in exercising its licensing, regulatory, and disciplinary functions. Whenever the protection of the public is inconsistent with the interests sought to be promoted, the protection of the public shall be paramount. So I'd like to also introduce a couple of new members for this meeting. I'd like everyone to please welcome new member Robert Short Bob Rule. Hi, Bob. Bob is a CPA, and also Michael Williams, CPA. Welcome, both of you. So now we'll move over to item 2 on your agenda. And for item 2, the first thing we need to do is seek approval for the meeting, January 11th, 2024 Enforcement Advisory Committee meeting minutes. So does any member wish to make a motion?
I move the minutes be accepted.
Thank you. And there's a second. Thank you. All right. Are there any questions or comments from our members? No. If seeing none, I will now open it up to the public here in San Diego who would like to make a comment, and there are no members of the public here. So we will now ask the moderator to please open up the lines for public comment.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There are no members of the public online. So I return the floor back to you.
Thank you. Ms. Whiffley, please take a roll call vote.
Jennifer Benjamin,
Here.
Jeff DeLyser,
Yes.
Ellen Gittleson,
Approved.
Kathy Johnson,
Approved.
Laura Ross, approved. Bob Rule,
Same.
Jason Russell,
Approved.
Ben Town,
Aye.
Michael Williams. Motion passes.
Thank you. So now for agenda 3, it's time for us to hear from a report from Teresa Thompson, CPA. She is our representative from the Board of Accountancy. She's the Board of Accountancy's liaison. And Teresa will be speaking to us via WebEx this morning.
Good morning,
Hi,
Chair
Teresa.
Johnson. Hi, good morning. Good morning, members of the EAC. I am a member, CBA, Teresa Thompson, and I will be providing a report of the July and September 2024 CBA meetings. Before I continue, just want to confirm I'm coming in clear and everything sounds okay?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. At the July 25th and 26th, 2024 meeting, the CBA discussed activities and initiatives in California and nationally related to the CPA pipeline, requirements for CPA licensure, CPA mobility, and changes to the Uniform Accountancy Act. NASBA President and CEO Dan Dustin, CPA, provided an update regarding NASBA's professional license licensure task force at the first
You're
CBA.
breaking up. I'm sorry, Ms. Thompson, what you just said was really,
This is the moderator. If I may make a suggestion, Teresa,
Yes.
if you you might want to turn off your camera. That takes up a lot of bandwidth, so maybe that'll help your sound quality improve.
Okay. Sorry about that, folks.
No worries. It's technology.
Okay. I know. Okay. I will restart with the CBA direction that we provided during the July meeting, just so that was in clear. We requested CBA staff to draft a legislative proposal for review at the September CBA meeting that would implement automatic mobility subject to important consumer protection safeguards, as well as draft a legislative proposal for review at the September meeting that would allow applicants to meet the educational requirements with a bachelor's degree and an increase in experience. The proposal would also preserve a pathway for applicants to complete a specified advanced degree with 1 year experience requirement. We'll do a quick pause. Is the sound coming in a little clear?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. The CBA approved sending a communication to NASBA expressing concerns regarding consumer protection and independence as it related to firms operating under an alternative practice structure, and requested NASBA explore whether a change to the Uniform Accountancy Act would be necessary. We also directed staff to move forward exploring possible regulatory changes to implement a process for firm owners licensed to sign reports on attest engagements. Lastly, staff reported on the CBA's sunset legislation, and I'm happy to report that the governor signed Assembly Bill 3251 on September 26th, extending the CBA's authority for an additional 4 years. Are there any questions on the July CBA meeting? Okay. Looks like there are none, so I will continue with the summary for the September 19th and 20th, 2024 meeting. The CBA held its meeting at California State University, San Marcos, or CSU-SM. During our meeting, CBA members and our staff had the opportunity to conduct several outreach events and activities. We held presentations where members spoke to students, conducted a meet and mingle opportunity for the students to interact with CBA members. We met with faculty at CSU-SM, and the staff did several hours of transcript review for students. In addition to conducting event outreach at CSU-SM, staff and members also held an outreach event at University of California, San Diego, Division of Extended Studies the day before the September CBA meeting, which included presentations from CBA members and staff. During the meeting, the CBA continued its discussions regarding activities and initiatives in California and nationally related to the CPA pipeline, requirements for CPA licensure, CPA mobility, and changes to the Uniform Accountancy Act. At this meeting, the CBA approved 2 legislative proposals and directed staff to seek an author to implement automatic mobility subject to important consumer protection safeguards and allow applicants to meet the educational requirements with a bachelor's degree and 2 years of general accounting experience. We also elected to hold an interim meeting before the November CBA meeting to discuss and act on exposure drafts from NASBA and the AICPA regarding modifying licensure requirements and automatic mobility. That interim meeting will be held via WebEx and in person at the CBA office and in Southern California at a location to be announced on November 4th, 2024 at 10 a.m. The CBA will hold its next regularly scheduled in-person meeting at the California Board of Accountancy and via WebEx on November 21st through the 22nd, 2024. Are there any questions regarding the September CBA meeting?
Ms. Thompson, this is Kathy Johnson. I don't have any questions, but I do want to make a comment, if I may.
Yes.
I wanted to stress the terminology you used for the new proposal, bachelor's degree versus 120 hours, because I think that's real important. I have attended a lot of different committee meetings for different agencies kind of working on our terminology or working on our pipeline. And bachelor's degree, I think, is really, really important because we don't want to be in this spot years down the road when somebody decides a bachelor's degree isn't 120 hours. Maybe it's 90 hours. Maybe it's, maybe it's 100 hours. So I think the use of the term bachelor's degree is very, very important and critical for us all to understand. I think it's a great thing so that, I've heard Dominique say this, letting educators educate. And regulators are working on, what happens after that student gets that bachelor's degree.
Yes. Of a battery was very intentional for the points that you just highlighted.
You're breaking up a little bit on those comments, but I think everybody kind of got the gist. Anybody have any other questions? Thank you for letting me make that comment.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? Okay, so thank you, Ms. Thompson. There are no public comments. So we will move forward to agenda item 4.
Okay.
And moderator, can we just confirm there's no public comments on the WebEx platform?
That is correct. We have
Thank you.
no online attendees.
Thank you.
Okay, so agenda item 4, we'll turn it over to Ms. Carey, our enforcement chief, Ms. Carey O'Connor, to give us her activity report.
Good morning. The activity report before you today is for the full fiscal year of 2023-24. The CBA received just over 5,800 complaints. And you will see that compared with the prior fiscal year, we have experienced a 27% increase in complaints. On page 2, we have included information on the top 3 complaint types, with complaints regarding unlicensed activity being the most common, and then renewal deficiencies right behind that. Moving on to investigations and investigations pending on page 3, staff closed over 6,300 cases with 96% closed within 1 year. And the average days to close investigations was 106 days. Enforcement had just almost 1,600 cases in its pending investigations inventory. There were 2 cases pending over 24 months of age, but since this report, both of those cases have been closed. Discipline-related information can be found on page 4 of the report. Looking first at AG referrals, the CBA referred 46 matters to the AG office and filed 27 pleadings. The CBA had 40 matters pending at the AG's office. And lastly, the CBA had taken action on 36 final disciplinary orders for the fiscal year. Now I'll move on to citations and fines on page 5. The CBA issued nearly 1,100 citations, 85% of those citations being issued due to failing to comply with the 2012 continuing education requirement. We received 116 citation and fine appeals, and we have withdrawn or modified 65 citations based on those appeals. And in most cases, an appeal is granted because the licensee either provided new mitigating evidence or complied with the issue that resulted in the issuance of the citation. Moving on to page 6, this is information regarding unlicensed activity. The CBA had received just over 2,400 complaints regarding unlicensed activity. We closed over 3,200 investigations for the fiscal year, with the majority closed as a result of compliance. And then the final page of the report that I have for you is probation monitoring. We had 63 licensees on probation. We identified 44 probation violations for the fiscal year, with the majority being failing to submit written quarterly reports. And at this time, I'd be happy to turn the meeting back over to Chair Johnson and answer any questions members may have.
Mr. Connor, I have just a question. In terms of our discipline and the AG referrals, we increased from 2021-22 to 22-23 by 4 referrals. We seem to have had quite a leap of 8 from 2022 to 23 to 23-24 year. Any sense of anything unusual?
Nothing unusual. I think our number remains pretty steady, in my opinion. I just think that it's possible, maybe at the beginning of the fiscal year, we had several referrals that had maybe started in the prior, so they just carried over a little bit, but no trend that leads to us, having any issues with the AG referrals. I just think we'll probably see this number going forward remaining steady.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Okay. Seeing no questions or comments, we also just want to confirm with the moderator that there are no public attendees for questions or comments.
Thank you, Madam Chair. That is correct. We have no online attendees.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Okay, so now it's time for us to move to agenda item 5, and this would be a closed session.